What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris Infinite, and today I'd like to make a quick video on 5 things I think we should see throughout this year of Generation Zero. With the roadmap fast approaching, we will learn what's coming our way for months to come very soon here in Generation Zero, and I'm really hoping it'll be a roadmap of excellence here for us, my dudes. But for fun, let's see how my wishes line up to the roadmap when it drops just shortly here for us. This is just kinda a generalized list of my own, so please sound off in the comments below if you have anything you'd like to see in Generation Zero this year. And as always, your likes and support is greatly appreciated here on the channel. So this list is in no particular order, but this first one is probably the thing I've hoped for the longest from this list. That is the proper addition of the Iron Church. From new storytelling elements, missions, new weapons like the Hunter Vibrasword, the Iron Church would be huge for Generation Zero this year. I've always wanted to join the Iron Church and become the machine-slaying legend that my character deserves to be. With the Iron Church proving themselves to be the most capable machine fighters in Ostertorn outside of the main character, they're a group that I've always really wanted to side with. With their latest advancements being some of the biggest in the game last year, I'm hoping this year we'll see this group come from the shadows of Ostertorn and be the big deal that they deserve to be in Generation Zero's plot. But speaking of Generation Zero's plot, and I know, great segue, but speaking of Generation Zero's plot, another thing I'm really hoping for is from the Soviet side of the plot, and that is meeting Tatiana. I'll be honest, for the Soviet side of the game right now, I'm just interested to see where the devs take things. But if there's one thing I hope from this year, it's to meet up with Tatiana. This machine-legged badass has been going on with Phoenix becoming best buds for a long time now. She's even hacking the Soviet machines last time we heard to help Phoenix. So I really hope this year we can meet her, see what a person with a machine modification looks like in Generation Zero, and then hopefully get to modify ourselves someday. But for now, I'd just like to meet this chick. She's basically become the new Veronica Nilsson of the game, where we only hear of her in lore and side-telling elements, but she'll have a huge impact on the story later on when she's added. Now, this next one is kinda just a personal hope of mine, but it's for a Subterranean map in Generation Zero. There's nothing else that would change up the open world exploration more than bringing us to a new area underground. With tight enclosed spaces from our huge open map, it would be a big change of pace environmentally. There are plenty of storytelling opportunities underground as well, from secret military installations to the fleeing Soviets led by Bolshevik, straight to the crater, even to the crater itself being a radioactive and destroyed area. It'd be a really cool experience seeing Generation Zero in a different light like this. I have a full video on this idea if anyone wants to check it out, but for now, let's just say a subterranean map would be just as cool as an island expansion, in my books at least. Now, most of this stuff has been focused on storytelling elements and expansions, but something a little more small-scale than those bigger wishes is for crafting to be fixed up. I'd love to see crafting be both the great form of progression it is today, and also be as useful as it used to be. However the team plans to achieve this is up to them, but I'd personally like to see crafting go back to something where I actively want to engage with it, as opposed to avoiding it as much as possible like I do nowadays. I barely ever use experimental ammo, and I kinda miss the days when I could just craft a bunch and have a good time. Let alone crafting DLC items, which just feels like a huge waste of resources sadly, and could be this really cool aspect of the game. I don't need to harp on it, but if crafting gets fixed up this year, I think it would be great for GZ's game flow overall. And lastly, the thing that every Generation Zero player wants these days, a new island to explore. With Alpine Unrest getting on in years, something we all want to see is how the main story could be expanded on, and how these new storytelling elements could come together on a new island. With huge land masses not in use currently in the game, it would be excellent to see them be built up and brought into the game properly. We've had videos exploring these islands, and they have great terrain that could offer some really epic new locations for us to explore. Plus, we're very much due for a new expansion to Phoenix. A new class or machine could be introduced on this island and bring a fresh new spice to combat as well as exploration. So there we go, my dudes. From the Iron Church to the Soviets with Tatiana, a subterranean map, or a whole new island. There's plenty that Generation Zero could offer us this year, outside of the necessary bug fixes and improvements. There's a ton of storytelling potential just waiting to be taken advantage of here in Generation Zero. So thank you for watching this video. Again, the roadmap is coming soon, so we'll see how my hopes line up with the roadmap when it comes around. But for now, I'll catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.